That's not a knife. That's a knife. Functional, strong, and coming in a huge variety, fixed blade knives have withstood the test of time. And on this episode of What Knife Should I Buy, we'll take a look at several different types of fixed blade knives, from 2-inch neck knives all the way to 18-inch machetes. We'll also discuss some different Tang styles and some pros and cons of commonly found sheath materials. So let's head into the store and check out some steel. All right, we are back with Tyson and Timote. We're talking about knives today, specifically fixed blade knives. So I know it seems kind of obvious, but what exactly is a fixed blade knife? I know it's not like a folding knife. Maybe you could tell us.
Well, you got it right. It's pretty much a knife that does not retract or fold. It is a solid piece. Usually the tang extends through the to the end of the handle. It has no moving parts, and that's why it's considered a fixed blade.
All right. So what are some of the advantages of a fixed blade knife?
Well, like Tyson explained, it doesn't have any folding parts or moving parts, so it tends to be a lot stronger. It's a lot less likely to break, and generally they're used for outdoor survival or hunting.
All right, so I've heard of full tang. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what full tang means and what are some other tangs in fixed blade knives?
Well, full tang means that the tang of the blade is going to extend all the way through to the end of the handle. It's usually a solid piece like this. And the real benefit here is that it is the most strong, it's not tapered, you're not weakening any point of it, and that it extends all the way through the end, so you also achieve a really good balance. From here, like this Bark River, you can affix scales to it, and you can see here that the tang is, even with the end of the scales. Or for example, on this Essie, you can attach removable scales, and sometimes it'll extend past, and that's called a Pommel. This one has a little lanyard hole here. Or ones like this encapsulated one here, you can use that to hammer on the end of it, but this one is just encapsulated within this handle.
Some other examples we have here, this is one of them. It's a partial or tapered tang. Differs from these, as you can see, we lose some steel here, which also we lose some strength when we lose that steel. It is set in a handle, a full handle by epoxy or some kind of adhesive that holds it in place. Now the other thing is, they can vary in length, so it can be somewhere in this area or it could be a little bit longer. So it varies in length in the handle. Another example that we have here, which is a pretty dramatic loss of steel, is the rat tail. And these are the same thing. They're set in a handle with epoxy and they're also attached with some kind of bolster or screwed in at the end.
And what are the benefits of having a partial or tapered or rat's tail tang?
Sure, you tend to lose a little bit of weight. So if you're backpacking, hunting out in the outdoors, and you're concerned about the amount of weight that you're carrying, they will tend to be a little bit lighter.
Okay, and probably you get some different interesting handle materials and so forth there.
Yeah, and a lot of these you can see these are kind of a straight handle. Some of them have a little contour. These might tend to have a little bit more contour or ergonomics to fit the handle a little bit better.
All right, so what are some of the common type of fixed blade knives you might encounter?
Commonly, things like neck knives, small knives like so that can be worn around the neck. Here's a good example. Usually in like a Kydex or a plastic injection molded sheath. They're usually the companion for a larger knife, and they usually, just for like light duty cutting tasks. You can have them with scales. Like these two both have micarta. A lot of people will, as you can see, this one has been wrapped in paracord. It's typically just skeletonized like so.
So another example is we have here the full tang knives that we talked about earlier, more of a bushcrafting, hunting utilitarian blade. This is something you'd want if you're going camping. Another example over here, we have the Pommel with the lanyard on it. This one has a thumb ramp where if you're trying to do some kind of chopping task or skin something, it has that extra jimping. So it's really utilitarian. If you're going camping or out in the outdoors for a couple days, these are definitely the knives that you want to take with you. Tend to be in the 4 to 6 inch range. And then over here we have the combat knives. I am no combat expert, but we do have these knives here. They tend to be a little bit longer, kind of in the 7 to 9 inch range for the piercing or thrusting. Also have finger guards so you don't slip up. This one's pretty common. This right here is more of a boot knife. Pull out of the sheath. More of a skeletonized handle. Still has some jimping where you can put your fingers in there and hold it for combat. Same thing, same kind of idea, piercing and thrusting motions.
And then we got like kitchen knives, and these are usually obviously large fixed blade knives that are made for repeated cutting tasks like cutting vegetables. They typically, include a very highly corrosion-resistant steel, as you can imagine, because they're going to be ran through the dishwasher and used with food. All right, then we'll go into machetes. Machetes are the largest of the bunch. They are, typically 10 inches or longer. They're good for, campground type work, clearing brush, maintaining paths, stuff like that. This is more your traditional machete shape.
Sure, we have some other examples of machetes are larger fixed blade. This happens to be a parang style knife, and then we can move on to something like a kukri, which has more of a dramatic blade with kind of a recurve to it.
All right, so unlike folding knives where your blade is protected by the handle, fixed blade knives have sheaths. So what are the common sheath materials they might come across?
Nowadays, what's common, you still have your classic leather sheath, made out of leather. You've got things like kydex or injection molded plastic that retain the knife without the use of a buckle or a clip or anything like that. Then you've also got like your ballistic nylon sheath here, and that sometimes will have a kydex or a plastic insert on the inside of it to prevent cutting it.
All right, so what are some of the pros and cons to the different sheath materials?
Sure, so the leather sheath we have right here is nice. It does have that classic look, a nice accent piece to your knife, if you will. It does have a strap or a pin that we can lock the knife in place with. One of the drawbacks with leather, though, is that it does hold a lot of moisture. So if we get wet or in a humid climate, it will hold that moisture in there, so your knife will be, subject to it the whole time it's in there. We do have some injected kydex or molded plastic sheaths right here. The injected kydex is nice because it is heat treated and formed to your knife, so you don't have to worry about having that retention from a button or a strap. But it does have a drain hole on the bottom so that it will continue to drain. Same thing here, it's folded to the knife, and it has these slots here where you can attach it to your pack and it'll be really secure up against whatever you're carrying it on. This right here is the nylon sheath that Tyson was going over. This does have straps to keep your knife in. Also has a plastic insert. I don't know if you can see that right in there, so that your knife doesn't cut up that nylon. And it's nice because it does have some extra slots underneath here where you can put a ferro rod, sharpening stone, some goodies. One of the drawbacks is, though, is that when you do hook it to a pack or something, it tends to be a little bit more flimsy and flop around.
All right. Well, if you guys are interested in some fixed blades, want to learn a little bit more, check out some of these great recommendations. You'll think this is knife? That's not knife. This is knife. See, that was a little better, right?
Sure.
That's not a knife. That's a knife. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Don't use. Hey, Hey, that's not a knife. That's a knife. Yeah, we're not. I don't know.
This is getting too racist. I don't think we can use any of this.